What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV, back with another live stream. And today, 24 hours to go until we're in action again, up against Bournemouth at the carpet at the Emirates, and trying to pull away from Manchester City in our pursuit of the title. It's Friday then, it's Saturday, Sunday, it's Friday. Come on, people, the weekend is here. Good vibe settings. Press conference reaction from Mikel Arteta. Get that waffle ready, get that syrup ready. Little bit of transfer news, and we'll talk team news, and also the war chest story is running again, people. It's not John Cross, but yeah, it's on his way. As you can see, a little shameless plug. Of course, Curtis Shaw Clips is down there in the pinned in the comments. Get yourself involved. Got a couple of new videos on there yesterday, and we'll get 3 or 4 more over the weekend. Don't forget as well, Arsenal watch along tomorrow. We'll be live from 2:15 tomorrow. Arsenal against Bournemouth. Forgot who was playing there. And then on Sunday, I will be doing Liverpool against Manchester United as well. Big game, Super Sunday. And yeah, definitely makes sense to do that one. So busy weekend, lots to talk about. And plenty of stories going on today. Mikel Arteta has just finished his press conference, so we will get that up shortly when the quotes are all listed on the website, so we will get into that. Make sure you like the video as well, people. Subscribe to the channel. We're about 350 away from 60k. Can we hit that this weekend? If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button, people. Curtis, I'm missing Arsenal therapy. Listen, I'm hoping we don't have to go near that for the rest of this season. Big up Anthony, and it's live. Big up that guy D. Big up Curtis in the chat. Got the likes on the way in. And buenos Aires, hope you're well. Thank God it's Friday. Bless up Curtis and the community. Big up us. Big up everyone. 60k today. Let's hope so, people. Let's hope so. Yeah, it's Friday. You know we have to drop that on a Friday. Anyway, let's get into the show, people. Let's talk football. Let me not waffle on. I'm moving like Arteta here. Couple of things I'm going to talk about before we really sort of get into the show. I'm kind of just throwing out a little bit of speculation and seeing if the community bites on any of this. So just bear with me here. I got a couple of stories in the football world, but I'm just trying to see if we can if it's worth us getting involved in any of these. So let me know in the comments. So first of all, Liverpool have announced this morning that Bobby Firmino will leave Liverpool this summer. He's rejected a new 1-year deal from Liverpool, and Bobby Firmino is on his way this summer. Now, would you? Would you take Bobby Firmino at Arsenal on a free? I know he's 31, but I'm just saying he plays that false 9 role, and it's kind of the role that Mikel Arteta seems to like from a striker. Free agent as well. Now, he is 31. I think that would be a little bit off-putting, but this guy has damaged Arsenal over the years, by the way. I'm just purely asking the question. Yeah, I mean, listen, there were rumours he was going to Juventus, but Juventus have got a lot of financial problems now, and he is on £180,000 a week. Just remember, he's left Liverpool. Liverpool haven't taken away their contract offer. Don't even think about it, says DV. Listen, I'm putting the poll up there. I'm asking the question. This is what we're here for, information and entertainment. Would you take Bobby Firmino at Arsenal on a free transfer this summer? 31 years of age. We know Arteta loves that false 9 role. He's one of the world's best in that particular role. Now, listen, he has had injury problems at Liverpool in the past 18 months. And I think he wants first-team football, which is probably something we can't offer him. Would you take Firmino on a free this summer? I'm just quickly asking the question. Please don't let you in the chat go to war. Listen, I'm just asking. Not tall enough. Tell him to lower it to 100k from the youngest squad to the oldest. He's 31. I'd rather keep Balogun or get someone younger. Firmino or Eddie. Exactly. Listen, people are hyping Jorginho at 31. For free, we can't really go wrong. Availability is the best ability. I'll leave the poll up there for 5 minutes or so. I just thought it was a good question to ask. the reason I'm sort of asking the question is because of the way he plays. I think is how Arteta wants his strikers to play. There's going to be a lot of big players available on frees this summer. There's another one, yeah, you're right. Zaha on a free as well. And you know my thoughts on Wilf. I'd take him all day long. Rashford, obviously. We would all love Rashford. We ain't getting Rashford. Money for the pull-up. What do you think this is? Man, think we're in the yard rave. People dashing money at the DJ to pull it, yeah? Listen, I'm a man of the people. Run that ting! Listen, it was £2. You can't get the full intro for £2. But big up, we let it run, Luke. We're like a yard rave. All we need now is some red stripes, some Guinness. Pull it, pull it, pull it. You know what I mean? We got a couple DJs in here as well. Dre's a DJ as well. Penalty Spot's a DJ. So, man are paying for the pull-up. It's all mad. Inflation is real, people. Inflation is real. Rick said if we don't sign a striker, I would take him. And he said, wheel and come again. Yo, it's all going off, people. Arteta can't handle Zaha. Yeah, Zaha's on straight smoke, people. Block party settings. Don't worry, if we win the title, you know we're having a party on here somehow. Something's going off. We'll play music. We'll do something. We'll take a copyright strike for that celebration. We have lots of competition to play next season and he would fit the profile. I'm interested to see what you think about that Firmino one. But anyway, I'll leave that one there just to, you know, I like to get the community going. You don't turn up here and just have a slow warm-up. I'm hyping you all up already. We're wheeling up the intro and throwing up polls already. And second bit of news before I get into the Arsenal-related news. Barcelona. UEFA Lona, as many people call them. Do you know what? I'll be honest. Growing up, Barcelona were my favourite Spanish team because R9 Ronaldo was there. Then Ronaldinho went there. Rivaldo was there. Romario. They had the Brazilian connection. So they was always my favourite team. I preferred Barcelona to Real Madrid. But I have to admit, with what they did to us in the Champions League, the way Van Persie got sent off, there is no doubt in my mind that that referee was cheating. He was paid, I'm sorry. And then the stories came out about them pocketing refs. And some would say it's karma, people. I can't lie. Some would say it is karma. Man are saying I can't have a stream and don't mention Zaha. Don't worry, man. Don't worry. The thing that's annoying, he's being linked with Tottenham in the summer. But Barcelona are banned from the summer transfer market. They will only be able to buy players if they can raise £178 million. Now, is there anybody we should be turning up in the new camp with a bag of money for? Listen, they're not going to sell any and everyone. But I'm seeing on online today, Frankie de Jong is one that they believe could go. Ansu Fati, they're saying Ferran Torres, Jordi Alba. There's a few there. I mean, De Jong, the only problem with De Jong is the wages. 325 grand a week, but he would be a baller. Is there anyone? Listen, Pedri's got a $1 billion release clause. Frank Kessie scored the winner last night. Barcelona beat Real Madrid. I think De Jong would be the main one. Pedri, they wouldn't let go, I don't think. Frankie or Dembele. Dembele wouldn't be bad. Barca been cheating for years. Remember Ballack jumping all over their... It's a disgrace! It's a disgrace! They definitely been cheating for a minute. I can't lie. They've been cheating for a hot minute. De Jong against Real was world class. Martinelli on the green screen. It had to happen. Rafinha is so crap. Watched the game last night. I've been saying for a while, bro. Rafinha doesn't look Barcelona levels to me. I think the jump was too big, man, from Leeds to Barca. He should have gone somewhere in between. It wouldn't surprise me if they bin him. I take Lewandowski. I don't think they'll let Leao go. Goalkeeper, very good goalkeeper. What's his name? Am I forgetting the goalkeeper's name? Marco Ter Stegen, that's it. Yeah, he's a good keeper. But listen, there's a few there. De Jong was phenomenal yesterday. He's got to be one of the best. Let's get De Jong, man. Remember, he was talking highly about Arsenal at one stage as well, saying that the football is something he's admired for a long time. He would be... Can you imagine De Jong and Partey? I mean, geez. Or it might end up being De Jong and Declan Rice. Rafinha is a C-Tech Mahrez, bro. Not even a B-Tech Mahrez. You know, B-Tech similar. He's a C-Tech Mahrez. I think he's overrated, Rafinha. Trust me, Curtis, Frank Kessie and Partey is all we need in midfield next season. Uncomfortable convos. Aubameyang was better at Barca than Lewandowski. I mean, and then finally, Tottenham get battered everywhere we go. I couldn't ignore that comment. Anyway, Barcelona could be looking like the TK Maxx sales section. Red stickers all over the place. Come and, you buy De Jong, you get Rafinha for free, people. But I would definitely take De Jong. He looked fantastic yesterday. Imagine De Jong, Declan Rice, with Partey and Xhaka and maybe Jorginho knocking about as our five would be unbelievable. Top Spurs? What's that? You never heard of them? No. I can't. When I see that, I have to say it. I'm sorry. Let me end this Bobby Firmino poll. I just wanted to get the people them going. As soon as you get in information and entertainment settings. Ooh, 67% of you saying no. 33% say yes. So the Bobby Firmino one's gone straight over your head. So maybe we'll leave that one alone, people. We enter with a like. What's good, Curtis? Big up yourself, bro. Big up yourself. Anyway, let's get into Arsenal. Let's talk Arsenal, people. Stop the messing about now. Let's get down to business. A story in the Times, is it? Yeah, in the Times today with Gary Jacob. Quite a long story, but I'm just going to, pick out the most headline making bits. Mikel Arteta is planning to overhaul his squad by signing at least 4 players this summer. Using the potential Champions League income, Arsenal are confident of beating Chelsea to the signing of Declan Rice, who may cost £80 million and could renew interest in Moises Caicedo. I have to say, I've made a few bullet points from the story. The story says if Arsenal can't get Declan Rice, they will turn to Moises Caicedo. It does not say we're going to go for both of them. Everyone is very much saying that Declan Rice is, numero uno in terms of who we want to go for, even though we made 2 offers for Caicedo in January, which is interesting. Big up my bro Fran in the chat. Big up the community. We're all good and the week has been blessed for you all. Go and follow his crypto channel. He's doing great things over there. And I need to get him on here, man. We need to get him talking football. So I'm gonna reach out to you, Fran. Big up yourself, brother. But listen, at least 4 players. What I did like about this story is that the story is saying that Mikel Arteta wants to bring players to the club who've got experience of, the big time, whether that's World Cups, Champions Leagues, Euros. He wants players with know-how. Now, Declan Rice hasn't actually played in the Champions League, but he has played in the Europa League. He has played in the World Cup for England. And listen, clearly he likes him. He's a leader. We've been saying it for a long time. We're going to have 4 centre midfielders in their 30s this summer, which means we do have to bring that age bracket down. Declan Rice is a leader. Listen, I've said before, I do think there is English and Premier League tax attached to Declan Rice. I still don't think he's incredible on the ball, but I do like what he is good at, if you know what I mean. He is a leader. He's very good at winning the ball back. He's very energetic. A lot of West Ham fans have said, listen, if he goes to a better team, his game will go up to another level. So we'll have to see. I mean, Red Eye saying Rice is undercooked. Don't worry, man. We got the nice barbecue at Arsenal, man. Edu got something cooking for him, man. He can sort that mess out. Zubimendi will be the first signing because of the release clause. That's a great point, because we went for Zubimendi in January. Zubimendi apparently said, listen, in the summer, prepared to leave, but now I'm going to try and finish the season. And like you said, release clause, very easy deal for Edu to get done again. We want to be proved that Edu can get them deals done that are a little bit out of his comfort zone. So yeah, Declan Rice. Now the second part of this story. In fact, there was 3 parts, but I'm just going to go to this bit. This is interesting. I mean, it says Mikel Arteta wants to bring in 2 central midfielders, a winger and probably a left back. Now they were saying the other day a forward, but it may be a winger rather than a striker, which I'm disappointed with. I think we need the striker more than the winger. If we need a left back, does that indicate that Kieran Tierney could be on his way out? Also, what's interesting If we sign 2 centre mids, you've got El Neni new contract, Xhaka about to sign a new contract, Jorginho just signed, and Thomas Partey. You sign 2 more, that's 6. Surely one of those previous 4 would have to leave. So is El Neni going to leave despite the new contract? I don't know how that would work out if we sign 2. I think we do need 2 centre mids. We need an attacking one and we need a defensive-minded one. So I'm in favour of that. A winger, I think it would be more likely a right winger. But the left-back is interesting. Now, the end of this, and probably a left-back which could be part-funded by the sale of some players, including Kieran Tierney. Arsenal could be willing to listen to offers for Kieran Tierney and will want to recoup their 25 million. I'm sorry, right? Listen, I'm not going to get on Edu's case because this is a newspaper article. So this could be completely false. You cannot buy Kieran Tierney for £25 million. I'm sorry. If we sell Kieran Tierney for £25 million, something is badly wrong. And I mean badly wrong. Because if Cucurella's costing 16 million for a glorified Hugh Wizzy, then I'm sorry, Kieran Tierney should be at least 50 million. Tierney's better than Cucurella, by the way. But bear in mind, he's been a little bit injury prone and blah, blah, blah. How on earth can Kieran Tierney be £25 million to a team that have the richest owners in the Premier League? It doesn't make no sense. He has 3.5 years left on his contract. Tierney's worth more than 25 million in this market. I'm sorry, left back is a very difficult position as well to get real quality. The other 2 players that they mentioned being sold are Nuno Tavares and Sambi Lokonga, which I think we all have a pretty good idea that those 2 are going to be sold. The report says that Nuno Tavares was frustrating members of the coaching staff during his time at Arsenal with his laid-back nature and his inability to take out instructions that were given to him. So, listen, Nuno Tavares having a good season at Marseille. He's playing wing-back. Yeah, I think you saw in the documentary there was a time where, I think it was West Ham away, where Arteta was shouting in his face. So, I don't think those 2 will play for the club again, I got to be honest. I think there'll be more players that will leave as well. Listen, Hugh Wizzy's probably better than Cucurella, I can't lie. Injury prone, 35 to 40. Listen, I could understand that. If we got 40 million for him, I'd be like, do you know what? He has been injury prone. It should be at least 40. Arsenal are not good enough in the transfer market to get 50, 60 million pound for a left back. It's just not going to happen. In reality, I'd be expecting 40 million for him. I really would. He's in his mid-20s, Scotland international, been quality at Arsenal, won trophies at Celtic. He would be a brilliant signing for Newcastle. So it is what it is. Fran said, you know what they say? If I tell you 3 times and you don't learn, it's over. I hear you, bro. And you know how it is. Listen, top-level coaches, they're not interested in, I'm giving you simple instructions and you can't carry them out. They're looking at Nuno like, listen, we can't coach him. We can't. Now, in all fairness to Nuno, he's having a good time in France. Number 1, it's not as a good league. But number 2, he's playing wing-back. He spends the majority of his game attacking. In the Premier League playing left-back, it's not going to happen. And the wingers in the Premier League will expose you. As a left-back in the Prem, you're going to have to play against Mahrez. You're going to have to play against Salah and players like that. They're going to expose you. So, for me, cash in on Nuno, cash in on Lokonga. I'm going to do that loan watch video in the week. There's a number of other players, as I said, that are coming back from loans. The likes of Balogun, Ainsley Maitland-Niles, Austin Trusty, Marquinhos. There's going to be more that are going to have to be sold. So Edu's going to be busy. He's going to be very, very busy. If we win the Prem, we get an extra 15 mil. And obviously, we get about 40 million for getting to the group stage of the Champions League, as long as we get through that. So the club will be making, if we can win trophies, obviously, it should be 50, 60 million more. Pepe as well. Another one. You remember the episode in All or Nothing that Arteta pointed out that Pepe was stressed, not understanding what was being said? Yeah, listen, those kind of instructions are very difficult if you're not clued up, That's why Pep Guardiola, he doesn't just sign anybody. he signs. You look at the players that Pep signs. They've all got high footballing IQs. He don't sign no, players who just play off the cuff. It's all players that can think, can understand how to move into certain positions. And Arteta's similar. And when you look at Nuno, he very much comes across as an athlete. I'm quick, I'm strong, I'm tall, but not necessarily the most intelligent of footballers. He looked like a headless chicken at times playing for us. So yeah, anyway, I would be very disappointed to see Kieran Tierney let go for just 25 million. But would it surprise you people if he went for that cheap? Because Arsenal not necessarily known for their ability to sell players, that is for sure, people. In that same article, as you could see, although Josh Shaw said, big up Curtis, I think you're wrong on Kieran Tierney's value. He's injury prone and overrated. Okay, fair enough. I'll be honest with you. When I look at Kieran Tierney's time at Arsenal, he hasn't been as good as I've expected him to be. He hasn't been bad. He's probably one of the best left backs we've had in years, even though the standard's been set pretty low. But I've always thought defensively, maybe not quite as good as I thought he was. I've seen him done quite a few times. I remember seeing Adama Traore rip him up one time. See Mahrez do all sorts to him once as well. I mean, it can happen, of course, but maybe not quite as good as we thought. He's good, but yeah, the injuries as well have cost him. Would you say Monreal was better? I think Tierney was better than Monreal, but as I say, if you turn up for 38 games and somebody turns up for 20 games as a left back, they're going to want the guy that plays every week. Monreal was very reliable. He gave you 6, 7 out of 10 every week. He was solid and he was available. So I would say Tierney was probably a better left back than Monreal, but Monreal was there every week. So that's how it's worked against Kieran Tierney, Monreal was an ever-present for us. He was hardly ever injured. So, yeah, it's a shame with Tierney how it's worked out. Just quickly, obviously we are, in that article there, we're being linked with a winger again. And this story coming out of Italy today, people, somebody that we spoke about a few days ago, Corriere della Sport, announcing that Rafael Leao could be on his way this summer. They're saying if there are no significant developments by June for Leao, Milan will try to sell the player in the summer to cash in as much as possible. Now, he was supposed to sign his contract at the start of January. It was then announced by Maldini. He thought he would sign it at the end of January. It now looks as if Leao does not want to stay at AC Milan next summer, and Milan are going to have to cash in on him. There's financial difficulties over there. They've offered him a massively improved contract. 8 goals, 6 assists this season. Milan having an okay season, but certainly not going to win the league. They were the champions last year. And he could be on his way. And again, they're saying around £80 million for Rafael Leao. A few clubs interested in him. PSG, with the PSG story saying it could be based on Neymar being sold this summer to fit him into that front three. And a lot of things going off with him. He came to London last week and was pictured shopping with Sambi Lokonga. He'd done a video on Kick Game. He speaks very good English as well. And he also liked a tweet from Bukayo Saka yesterday that sent everybody into meltdown as well, that he wants to come. He did an interview during the World Cup saying that Arsenal have been his most enjoyable team to watch this season. So could we get him to the carpet for £80 million? Stanley said, big up Big C, you've made a YouTube addict and I'm very glad to subscribe to your channel. Much love, my man, Gunners forever. Big up Stanley, welcome to the community. Otsao said, I need to see Curtis on the Big Six or London Club's Carnage. I'm here, bro, I'm here. I'm sure at some stage I'll make a debut on one of them, or both. I've never rated this guy, said Daniel. Osimhen incoming. I don't think Osimhen comes to... I don't think Arsenal would pay what's necessary for him as a striker. Somebody just said the disrespect to Tierney. Listen, I like Tierney, but he's injured too much. And that's probably why he may go. He's obviously going to go to Chelsea. Leao, Savic and Zubamendi. something, and the thing is, that kind of summer is not unattainable for me at Arsenal, because you can get Savic for 40 million this summer. Zubamendi's release clause about 50 million euros, I think, around 42, 43 million pound. And Leao will probably cost you 80. You only need, I think Arsenal need probably 3 high quality players that can push into the first team, and 1 or 2 squad players to boost that bench, you know. So yeah, man, it would be interesting. A lot of you saying you don't rate him as much though. Leao would have to hold bench, says Guna 8. Glenn said PR don't mean nothing to Edu. It doesn't. It definitely doesn't. I don't really rate him. He's too selfish. Khalid said I secured 2 tickets to the Nas and Wu-Tang concert this morning. Jeez, that's some real hip-hop. We should be raiding Chelsea signings. No chance they can keep them all. They're going to get rid of the ones that they've had for a while, though. Ziyech, Pulisic, maybe Loftus-Cheek. You know, players like that. Would you really want those guys at Arsenal now? You know, I don't think so, really. That's the problem. They will offload. I seen Kovacic being linked with Manchester City, funnily enough. Marshall said, Big C, a GOAT. These YouTube won't forget. Keep building the legacy. I appreciate it, brother. Really appreciate the community. Your support never goes amiss. That is for sure, people. Curtis, I'm putting £10 on Arsenal to win the Champions League next season. Jeez. You'll get good odds on that. Not a fan of Leao. He needs a lot of space and time to cook. You won't get that in the Prem. It's a good point. The community seems quite split on Rafael Leao, whether you would actually want him or not. I have to say, listen, he's still a little bit raw, definitely. And not the finished article yet. I think there's huge potential there, though. And listen, nowadays, you don't really get the finished article that often for 70, 80 million pound now. I mean, you look at Mudryk, he cost 88 million. Nowhere near the finished article. Come from a league that is not one of the top leagues as well. So you're going to pay 80 million for players like that. And he obviously won the title last season. We need speed for our wingers. Andrew said I'd take Zaha over Leao. Listen, you know, we're still hanging on to that Wilfred Zaha FC. You know, that hope and dream. I don't think it's going to happen. What will bother me is if he ends up going to Nando's, who are being linked with him on a free. It's a free in the summer. Mount and Kovacic you would take from Chelsea. Mount could be available. Umang said, hi, Curtis Love from India. Also, I want to start a channel, but I'm not sure how to start. Any advice? Also, come to India, Big C. Listen, I definitely got to get travelling. I would love Arsenal to go different places on tour, and, you know, wherever they go on tour, sure, on tour will be somewhere behind. How to start a channel? Listen, do you know what? I'll be honest with you. When I first started, everything was done on the phone. I bought a £20 microphone that you plug into the phone just to slightly improve the sound. Not even at the start. At the start, I bought a £5 tripod, little mini one, and I just put my phone on it and press record. And I did about 5 or 6 videos that I didn't upload. And I was like, nah, I don't like that. I'm hesitating too much. And then on the Europa League final day, I just threw out a video and got started. You just start rags. We all want to start perfect with the green screen and the nice camera and the great lighting. Bro, I put 2 nails in my wall and hung up 2 Arsenal shirts and sat on my sofa and just put my phone on the table and press record. Those who were there at the start, you'll remember, I just had 2 Arsenal shirts hanging behind me. For the watch-alongs, you used to be able to see the washing and the fridge and the clock in the background. You know, we started real ghetto over here, people. It wasn't glamorous. There was no studios, there was no microphones, there was no lighting, there was nothing. Just a simple light above me. So just get started. You'll learn along the way. I'm sure you can do it, man. Big up yourself, man. Mel said, you're a YouTube legend, Father Curtis. We're all just your humble disciples. Nah, man, the community's legendary, man. I appreciate it. Almost 60k. Yeah, we're nearly there. Just press record, man, and get going. You'll figure it out. I look back on some of my first videos. You know, I was hesitating, seemed a little bit nervous. You know, you just build up as you go along, man. I'm telling you, a lot of you in the comments, a lot of you who've come on the member streams as well, definitely could start channels. Started from scratch, started from the bottom, now we're here, man. Trust me, man, we're building people. The streams in the car, you know what I mean? Just used to pull up in the car park and press record. People walking by, looking at me, you know what I mean? It's all mad. It's got to be done, people. Used to do a quick review outside of the Emirates after the games. People are attracted to your personality. That's what makes you stand out, G. I appreciate it, bro. Big up to you, South London's finest. Michael says, Big C, big up. You inspired me to do my channel, bro. You're a massive inspiration to so many. I appreciate it. Anyone who's got channels, feel free to throw them in the comments. I'll always support the community back, you know. Johnny said, I started TikTok nearly a year ago as a singer. To your inspiration, nearly at 10K. And we keep going. Big up, people. Big up. We're moving. Community. We're uplifting. We're uplifting, you know. Right. After all that waffle from me, I'm going to stop. We're inspiring each other. It's beautiful, though. It's beautiful. Here we go. It's waffle settings. Big smile on his face. Happy days. Top of the league. And I'm not being funny, but in my head, it's not a case of if we beat Bournemouth. It's by how many. Now, he can't have that attitude, of course. He's got to be the ultimate professional. But I'm expecting us to smoke Bournemouth this weekend. I don't know about you. Minimum 3, 4, 5 I'm expecting this weekend. I'm sorry. Bournemouth, for me, are one of the worst teams in the league. They should be getting battered. 3 o'clock at the Emirates with the sunshine out for Solar God. They should be getting cooked. Pizza Party, I remember them Florida morning walk streams. Yo, they were legendary, man. I love them. I can't wait to go back to America, man. Anyway, let's get into it. Waffle settings, people. Cone Man music taking us all the way to the top. Mickey Roast, the boss. You're going to lead us to the title, I'm sure of it. Get us over that finish line. I am genuinely like a child on Christmas Eve. I'm trying to contain my excitement at the possibilities. And I'm just hoping that on Christmas Day morning, when I open the present, it's not the Lynx Africa set or the 5 pairs of socks that you get from your nan or the aftershave that you don't really like, but you have to smile and pretend that you like once you've sprayed it. It needs to be the PS5. It needs to be what you really want. Don't let us down. Get us over that finish line, win us that title, and let us all just enjoy it, because I'm holding it in. If you notice, people, I'm not saying on any streams that I think we're going to win the title. I'm not saying anything about it, because the past 18 years have been a humbler. After going invincible, we went invisible when it came to that Premier League title. So I'm trying to keep it calm and make sure, you know, when we get there, we can really enjoy it. Sadiq's become a member. Big up yourself, bro. Make sure you're in the member stream next week. Yeah, you know what I mean? I didn't mind the Versace blue jeans when I was 15, going to the little rave, you know, and just, yo, little aftershave and, yeah, that dupe in the red bottle. But, you know, when you become a grown adult, you want a little something better. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to get that Lynx Africa set or that, you know, that Versace blue jeans. I'm a bigger ass man now. I appreciate the thought, don't get me wrong. Sometimes you have to recycle them presents, you know what I mean? You just keep them in the cupboard and then it's someone else's birthday and you just wrap that back up and give that back to them. You know, it's recycling, people. That's why they have recycling every Friday, you know? You just have to make it work. Flip that and give that back to someone else for their birthday. It has to happen, people. So, are we getting the PS5 from Arteta? Or are we getting the 5 pairs of socks, the Lynx Africa set, and the Versace blue jeans aftershave that was on sale in your local store? On the importance of our last 3 results, sending a message to our rivals. Get that message sent loud and clear. We ain't going nowhere. We ain't going nowhere, people. They thought we were done 2 weeks ago, right? They thought we were done when we lost to Everton. They thought we were done when we drew to Brentford. They thought we were done when we lost to Manchester City. But we've hung in there, people. We ain't going nowhere. We've hung in there. We're still moving. Don't go anywhere. Tell them, FF. We're hanging in there. He said, there are no messages to the opponents. There are just messages to our players to continue to do the same every single day. And that's the only discussion. I'm telling you now, I'm looking for 4-5-0 tomorrow. Cool Water Davidoff, yo, I can't lie. In my early teens, you know what I mean? That was serious. But again, I ain't trying to rock that David off right now. You know what I'm saying? We got to move forward, people. How can I become a member? There should be a join button next to the subscribe button. If you're on an iPhone, I don't think it lets you do it. You have to go to the desktop site on your phone or go onto an Android or onto a laptop, and it should let you join. On the importance of 3 successive wins after the City loss, he says it's really important. It gives you momentum. It gives you confidence. It obviously puts you in a much better position in the league table, which is the most important thing. The team is in a good place and really looking to the game tomorrow. Pull the MJ tune in the mirror. Hey, yo, what's going on? People paying me to sing now. I told you. All them streams where I was singing, and it's finally paying off, people. I'm standing with the man in the mirror. Oh, yeah. See, pull it, people. Any request, just throw that super chat in. If I know the words, it can happen. I told you. People used to tell me to stop singing. Now they're paying me to sing. I knew we were going to get there eventually. Don't go anywhere. We're out here, people. We're out here. Inflation is real, man. The gas is expensive right now. We got to earn, people. We got to earn. Blue Wolf said, Big C just came back from watching the Europa League final preview. You were so nervous. You were struggling to control your breathing. You come a long way. I told you. We started from the bottom. Now we're here, people. It's the reality. In the car and tentative words, you know. That's how it goes. Simon Cowell signed him up. It's all mad. All right, let me get through the waffle. I keep going off track here. Let me get through, because I'm sure there's a lot. Right, on Gabriel Jesus' recovery from injury. Come on, get him back. He's not far now. I don't want to give a timeline, but he's doing certain things with the team and certain things outside the team. He's not very close, but he's not far at all. Ah, dear. You know what? You learned, ain't you? You learned from Arsene Wenger, my friend. That is such an Arsene Wenger thing to say, man. He's not very close, but he's not far. Yo, where you, bruv? Yeah, I'm not far, man. Oh, how far? Well, I'm not that close, but I'm not far either. I mean, it's typical Arsene Wenger. That is Arsene Wenger / Mikel Arteta. I think he's about 2 weeks away, personally. Apparently, he's doing about half the training session, but Charles Watts did say that when they are playing the games at the end of training, that Jesus isn't participating in that part of the session. So it looks as if he's still not able to receive contact from a defender. But he is taking part in half of the training, which is good, which is great news. Maybe after the international break now. That's the Africans' time. Listen, you know how we move, people. Caribbean, African, whatever. I'm sure many cultures, but I can't speak for everyone, but I'm like that, you know. How long are you going to be? Yeah, I'll be there in 5 minutes. I know damn well I ain't even left my house yet. I'm not even in the car, and I'm at least 15 minutes away. But you just got to keep them, you know. I'm nearly there. I'm nearly there, people. Young Gunner said, so enjoyable seeing Big C with a smile on the streams versus letting off the whole clip on Arteta. These press conference questions are shocking. People don't understand. When I used to be at Arteta, I don't want to be like that. You can see what I'm like. I'm vibes, information and entertainment. But he forced me to let the clip off. I don't know if you've seen, they tried doing me on AFTV clips this morning. They put some old clip of me dissing him. People going, oh, you didn't have the vision. But at the time, I think the clip deserved to be let off. He was ramping. He took Arsenal to 8th. I didn't know what day it was. We were losing to Burnley with no fans in the stadium. Aubameyang scoring own goals. I'd never seen Arsenal like that. It's like going from a mansion to being homeless. I didn't understand what was going on. But now he's going to get his flowers. I'm a reflection of what I see, people, as a fan. And I don't hide from that. When we're poor, I'm going to let you know we're poor. And when we're good, I'm going to give you your props. And that's all it is, people. Big up, man, like Premsy in the chat. Hope you're well, my bro. He said, big up, bro. Loving the content. Keep doing your thing as well, bro. Link up soon. Saw that clip. Yeah, they try to get me, man. They try to get me. But, yeah, football is a humbler, man. Yeah, I think I was calling Edu a travel agent. Listen, I still slightly stand by that. He flew to Poland to sign Mudryk, but Mudryk was in Turkey. How does that make sense? But anyway, we'll move on. We're top of the league. It's positive vibes. Let me not get distracted. So So he said he's not very close, but he's not far at all. Work that one out, people. He's feeling better every day, and the doctors are confident with the way the injury is evolving. We are in a good place with him, I think. Honestly, the excitement to see Gabriel Jesus back in this team is incredible. It's like we've signed him in January. I feel like he's never played for Arsenal. It's going to be unbelievable, you know, when this guy comes back in the team. On if Jesus' recovery has been as expected, he said, I think it's been pretty straightforward. At the beginning, we were really concerned with the possible extent. We were talking about a few options. Thankfully, it wasn't that bad, but it was a long-term injury. I think that they thought there was a possibility he was going to be out for the season when it first happened. You could tell it seemed like it was worse than they was letting on, but thankfully it wasn't as bad as that. He said, but it was a long-term injury. It required surgery. It's not pleasant, especially the first few weeks. But knowing Gabby has been through that before, his mentality is incredible, and the team has done a really good job with him to put him in the position he's in. You're right, Alex. The World Cup seems like so long ago. It's like I can't even remember him getting injured. He's going to be like a new signing for us, literally. On updates on Saka and Saliba's new contracts and their importance, he said every player is important. There are players with special circumstances contractually. We are trying to deal with them, but I don't want to cause any distraction with any of those conversations at the moment. Whenever something is ready to get done and it's good news, we will announce it. Fabrizio said in the week that the club were making progress with Saliba's contract, and obviously all the reports with Saka that deal has been done. It's just a case of announcing, getting the announcement video done and all that. Make sure you smash the likes, people. 2,000 of you in the chat. Subscribe to Curtis Shaw Clips. It is pinned in the comments as well. Can we get this channel to 60k this week? We are 350 away, I think, from getting there, people. Yeah, Emmanuel, he has had a bad knee injury before, Gabriel Jesus. And if he takes any notice of opponents' results when they play before us, he said, we are looking at the games for sure when they are live. Before that, it can become a stimulus, but I don't think there is a need for any extra motivation. We know the difficulty of the challenge. We are really looking forward to it, and we go game by game. Just remember that Manchester City play, they're the early kickoff on Saturday. They kick off at 12:30 against Newcastle. Arsenal obviously play at 3 o'clock, so either way, we're going to be motivated, because if Manchester City win, it's down to 2 points. We have to win. If they draw or lose and we have an opportunity to extend that lead, that is also going to create extra motivation. I'm not holding my breath when it comes to Newcastle, because they've been pretty poor over the last few weeks. But they are in the top 4, and you would be looking at it going, come on, you've got... Well, are they 5th now, actually? Yeah, they're 5th now, but you are looking at it going, come on, they should be able to put up some sort of performance against Man City. If not, Man City play Palace away next Saturday night. I'll be relying on Zaha and co to rescue us and take something off them. Premsy said Jesus is needed for the last part of this run, especially with his experience in being in title races. And you're right, him and Zinchenko, they know how to get over that finish line. And what the club can't do is risk bringing him back too quick. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Arsenal will win or lose this title in April, in my opinion, because of the fixture list. In April, we play Manchester City, we play Liverpool, we play Chelsea. There's nowhere to hide. We will win or lose this title in April, in my opinion. So listen, it's important he's back for that running, and Smith Rowe obviously getting back to full fitness. On the latest with Eddie and Nketiah, he says, the only other thing, I mean, someone said we could win it now. Yeah, if Manchester City drop points now and we can create an even bigger gap, if we can get 10, 12 points clear, maybe it will be wrapped up by the end of April. So, but we're relying on them to drop points there. On Eddie Nketiah, he said, we are assessing him and it's a bit uncertain on what's going to happen with him, to be honest. Let's see and keep the options open. He's very positive about it, so hopefully he will be fine. It's funny, yeah, because on Saturday, before the game against Leicester, it was being put out there that Eddie was injured. And And yeah, he played against Leicester. He played against Everton as well. But now he's saying there is a slight injury, although he said he is very positive. Hopefully he'll be fine. So he should be on the bench at least. Somebody, what did he say? Gunnar Vettel said, I disagree, Curtis. I think it's going to be the last fixture. Listen, it could very well go to the very final game of the season, which would be unbelievably exciting. J-Dub said, I got no shame. I'll probably shed a tear if we win the league. Bro, if we win the league, I mean, I wouldn't even know how to deal with it as an adult, to be honest. Got to be honest. As a big grown man watching us win the league, I don't know. I could not tell you what the reaction would be, but it would be epic. That's all I do know. On if Jorginho has recovered from an illness, he said Georgie's fine. He had an illness, and he was suffering, to be fair. He put in a great effort and shift in the first half against Everton. We decided to take him off. But he's fit now. So good news, Jorginho is fit. We'll quickly do a team prediction when we get through this waffle. On the threat of Bournemouth, he said, I watched the games they played against Brighton, Wolves, Newcastle and Man City. I'm really impressed by what they are doing. They are really aggressive. They haven't conceded many in those games. They could have had different results. Against Man City, showed some quality. He's being polite. You know, he's being polite. Oh, yeah, I've been really impressed with Bournemouth. I'll be like, yeah, but Mikel, they're second from bottom. He said they haven't conceded many. They've got the worst defence in the Premier League. So, I don't know what Mikel's been watching. Maybe he's watching highlights from when they got promoted in the Championship or something. But, yeah, their defending is not that great. A lot of you saying, look, Ngoni said, I would cry and I'm a 42-year-old dad of 4. Listen, if it's got to turn into a cry-along that day, it will turn into a cry-along. We do what's necessary, people. It's going to be emotional if we win the title. It'll be emotional if we don't win the title. You know, forget Arsenal therapy. We'll be going into rehab for the whole summer if we don't win the title. So, yeah, listen, it's going to be interesting, that is for sure. People saying check Fabrizio's tweet. Let's check what Pippo Inzaghi's saying. What we got here? Arteta, we are dealing with contract situations. Yeah, same thing. Next one, Bakayo talks ongoing with Saliba. It's a tap-in at the back post again from a yard out, and he's celebrating like they won the Champions League. I'm 35. I'm a cry too, says Ben Dang. Yeah, we'll do a cry along if we win it anyway. And if he has a plan for the running, he says, no, not that far. We never talk that far in advance. We always have a plan for what we'll do in the following weeks, and we'll stick to it. We'll assess where we are in a month's time, and that's what he has to do. That's what he has to do. He has to take it one game at a time. It seems very boring, but the players can't look too far ahead. And if he has to pass on his experience about the intensity of the season during the spring, he says they know a lot of them have experienced it, even if they were challenging for different things. We know that the closer we get to the end, the potential will be higher and the demands will be as high as they've been all season. On the controversy of the purchase of Newcastle, I'm not going to make any comments about another club. On if his team has reached its full potential, he says there's more to come. Let's skip it. I think there is more to come. On if Zinchenko is an option in midfield, he said he adapts in certain positions in the field. Sometimes he occupies spaces. Sometimes teams pose you questions. You need Alex in certain positions. He can play wider or higher up the pitch. A lot of people are raving about Zinchenko at the moment and the way he's played in the last few games, man. He's been fantastic. Premsy said if we win, I'm going to get pissed for a week straight. Bro, I'm going on holiday. I don't know what's going on, but it's going off. It's absolutely if we win the title, oh my days, is it going off. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. I'm expecting a lot of you at the Emirates. We're meeting up, people. We're meeting up. On the difficulty stepping up from the youth team to the first team as Gary O'Neill has done. No disrespect, we're not bothered about Gary O'Neill, the Bournemouth manager. On whether Gabriel Jesus could be back before the international break, he says, so you want me to give you a time frame? We don't know. I'm saying we're not far away, but obviously he has to do much more with the team. Let's see how the next week, 10 days develop, and we'll have a better picture. It seems a bit spiky with his answer there. On how well we've done without him, he said probably that wouldn't be fair on him because he was starting every single game and what he produced for the team was phenomenal. Yeah, give him his flowers, man. Man's trying to get him to do a slide diss on Gabriel Jesus, you know. Do a show on tour across the country. Yeah, something's going off. I'm telling you, if we win the league, something big's going off. I don't know if we're doing a tour. I don't know what. Something's going off. I'll be away. I'll pack a bag and I'll be out the house for a week. You know, it could be something like that. I'll be back in a week. Yeah, ring me if you need me. But I'm off. I'll have the passport, my wallet, and a bag, and I'll be back in a week because I'm celebrating. That is for sure. On what he has learnt since then. Oh no, on how much he's changed since his first game against Bournemouth. That's probably a question for someone else, he said. Finally, a manly comment, says Chris. You like the harsh response from him. Curtis, how can I get match tickets? I want to come and see from the States towards the end of the season. Bro, I'm going to be honest with you, right? It is so hard to get tickets for Arsenal games at the moment. I share a season ticket with someone, so most of the time he goes and I don't go. I could have got it for Wednesday, but in the end he gave it to one of his family members. So a lot of people ask, can you get me a ticket? Bro, this year has been one of the hardest years for people to get tickets because all these people have got these bot accounts. As soon as they go on sale on their website, they get sold straight away, which is why a lot of Red members are complaining that they can't get tickets. It's so hard. If I ever have any spare tickets, I will offer them to the community, but I've hardly had one this season at all. As you can see with me, I think I've been to 2 games this season. I've hardly been. Sure on tour. Yeah, 100%, man. And at the end of the season, man, in the title running, bro, they'll be expensive. They'll be hard to get hold of as well. You can get them outside the stadium, but you'll pay 2 or 3 times more than what the ticket is worth. On what he's learned, a lot has happened. I've learned a lot. I've had great moments with a lot of people. Let's skip through it. It's turning into waffle. On what stage Jesus is at with his recovery, he said there's no contact training yet. So there you go. He's confirmed there's no contact. On whether he will play an under-21 game, he said we need to see how busy the schedule is and whether we have space between the games. I'm sure if not, they'll play a behind closed doors friendly. On whether he will play 2 separate teams in the Premier League and Europa League, he said it depends. Obviously, we haven't had 2 teams available for the past 5 months. We didn't have more than 16, 17 outfield players, so that would have been impossible. Let's see if we have the chance to do that. And if we want to manage the rotation in that way. In the end, players have to earn the right to play and not because you have 2 games a week. On whether he encourages players to play out of position like Zinni did against Everton, if he gives the ball away and they have a counter-attack and they score, I would be really upset. But like every manager, he puts a great ball in, Bukayo is inside and he scores happy flowers. And we spoke about that yesterday. I brought the picture up and I said, listen, if Zinni gives the ball away there, they're going to hit us on the counter-attack and we're in trouble. But if you get a goal out of it, it's beautiful. Highbury Truth went Everton for £100. Yeah, exactly. It's expensive. I'm going to skip through this now. It is a waffle along now. And whether he has the confidence the team can cope with more injuries, said losing Jesus was a huge blow. On whether he has seen... Oh, we're at the end. On whether he has seen players like Martinelli step up in Jesus' absence. I think Gabby in particular was really good playing with Big Gabby, who's Jesus, but we needed something different from the team. I'm going to end it. It's the last question anyway. He's harping on too much. Again, terrible questions and terrible answers. It's the waffle along. We got one stern answer from him, and that's about it. Red Eye said, Curtis, you've got nearly enough subscribers to fill the Emirates. Not all your viewers are subscribed. That's mad. Yeah, man, come on, subscribe, people. Let's hit 60k this weekend. Yeah, let's make it a great weekend. We only need 300 odd subscribers. So a lot of you haven't subscribed, you know, and you probably forget that you haven't even subscribed. But anyway, let's concentrate on the starting lineup. How are we going to line up? Now, for me, I think the team pretty much picks itself, but we're going to pick it anyway. And we've got Europa League midweek, so any of the sort of fringe players, they're going to get their opportunity away at Sporting Lisbon, which is still a very good game to play in, a big stadium, and, you know, be an interesting game. The Hector Bellerin derby. So, I mean, the back 5, I might as well just leave that there and not even... That picks itself. And I have to say, it needs to be understood how important this defence has been for Arsenal, because I'm an attacking player and I hype up attackers way more than defenders. I think in general, we all hype up attacking players more than defensive players. When you think about the years gone by, how vulnerable Arsenal's defence has been over the past 10, 12 years, you know, Mustafi, who else? I mean, we've had so many bad defenders. Mertesacker for me was a meaty defender. Pablo Mari, Debussy towards the end, Bellerin towards the end. Obviously, your Lichtsteiners, your Schillacis, we've had so many bad defenders. For the first time in a long time, we have got a reliable back five. And I got to include Ramsdale in that as well, because we've had goalkeepers like, I won't even mention the Spanish goalkeeper who cost us the Champions League final, because I consider him a swear word. But we've had some pretty average goalkeepers as well. It's so good that we have this reliable defence and goalkeeper. We're keeping clean sheets. They're all internationals. We are building. I mean, Yohan Joru, yeah, I used to think he looked a bit like a penguin, Yohan Joru. Played a little bit like a penguin as well, to be honest. But yeah, we've had some bad players in that back four and the goalkeeper. So yeah, that goalkeeper. I can't say the A word, I'm afraid. I have to put myself in timeout. But yeah, quality. And I think Ramsdale he's had wobbles throughout the season where I've said, listen, he's drinking too much Red Bull, but he's been solid in general. I have to give him his props. Now, the midfield three, I'm going to contradict what I said the other day, and I'm going to go back to the usual partnership. Well, the usual three, in fact, are going to play. Reason being, Jorginho came off with illness, and I don't know. I thought Xhaka had a better game midweek. I think Partey coming back into the team, let's leave him with the guy that he's played with the majority of the season. So I'm going to go with that midfield three. I suppose I'm using the illness as a little bit of an excuse to leave Jorginho out. But Jorginho can start against Sporting Lisbon in midweek. So I would go with that. And the front three picks itself as well. You know, we don't need to do anything. As I said, for me, even though they're interchanging, I want Gabby central. But him and Trossard can rotate. That team picks itself for me. I think that will be the team tomorrow. That's the team I would pick, but that's the team I think Mikel Arteta will pick as well tomorrow. Ben White was constantly giving the ball away against Everton. Yeah, in the first half, we were definitely sloppy. Did you see the news about Hakimi? Yeah, listen, man, I don't really want to talk about it until it's certain, one way or another. Anthony said, Joru, listen, I'm not going to diss Senderos, man. He's a friend of the show. And he listen, I don't think he was as bad as a lot of those guys you're mentioning. I think what Drogba did to Senderos, and I still speak to Phil every now and then, he laughs. We had a laugh and a joke about it. About what Drogba did to him. What Drogba did to him was illegal. But Joru, Mustafi, I mean, Lichtsteiner, Schillaci, Santos, Cole Jenkinson, I'm convinced won a competition. Honestly. I'm convinced he was not even a footballer. He got the golden ticket on Charlie and the Chocolate Factory or something. I don't know how Cole Jenkinson had a football career in the Premier League. I respect the hustle. I don't hate the game. I respect it that you've become a millionaire at Arsenal and you're that bad a right back. I've never seen anything like it. AJ said, I think we should go Jorginho if Partey. I think Partey's all right, though, because Partey came on at half time, so he got 45 minutes. He's trained the last couple of days, and I think he will be all right. Snake Eyes, big up, bro. Kivior should play on Thursday, I would imagine. It's going to be interesting how Mikel Arteta takes that Sporting Lisbon game, because the way he was speaking there in that, he was saying, look, we will rotate when necessary, but but we didn't have the ability to do that in the group stage. So I think he will make some changes. I think he'll still go with a strong team. Fulham away is a worrying game, said Zach. I mean, let's finish off before we round up with a look at the Prem. And man saying Senderos gave me the brown envelope. No, I'm being genuine. I don't think he was as bad as a lot of those other ones you were mentioning. Some of them were horrendous. Like, ridiculously bad. Let's finish off with a look at that beauty of a Premier League table. 3 wins out of 3. Manchester City play against Newcastle 12:30. Come on, you Geordies, man. Come on, Shearer, Asprilla, Philip Albert, David Ginola, Kevin Keegan. Roll back the years, Newcastle, man, please. Just a draw. You don't even have to win. Just draw the game. My score prediction tomorrow against Bournemouth is Arsenal 5, Bournemouth 0. Clip that, Ross. Coming for all the smoke. We're on form. We just beat Everton 4-0. I know in theory I should play it down and calm it down a bit and say maybe 2-0 or 3-0, but nah, I'm saying it with chest. 5-0. 5-0 victory. Clip it. And when it happens, come back and chat to me, people. 5-0. We owe someone a beating. We gave Nottingham Forest 5-0 earlier in the season. For me, I think Bournemouth are one of the worst teams in the league. They'll go down. They gave the assistant manager the manager's job because he had a good run. Yeah, they lost 9-0 to Liverpool at Anfield. Trust me, I don't often come out with them kind of predictions. I'm going for 5-0 victory. Clean sheet, smoke. 5. Hat-trick. Someone get a hat-trick. I think we're battering them. Let's get that goal different. We're 6 goals behind Man City. So I'm expecting us to be a lot closer to them in terms of goal difference by tomorrow night. Big C, it all depends on how we start the game. I can see us letting one in. Now, I'm confident. We've had 2 clean sheets in a row. Everton and Leicester. Bournemouth are, like I said, let me just quickly look at Bournemouth in the league. Bournemouth have got the worst defence in the Premier League. They are the fourth lowest scorers, and they've got the worst defence. 24 games, 5 wins, 6 draws, 13 defeats, 22 goals scored, 48 conceded. They've won 1 of their last 5. I'm going for 5-0. I'm going for absolute smoke. And honestly, if we're winning like 3-0 at half time, that might even be pushed up a little bit. I might say 6 or 7. People are saying I need to do the Man City watch along before. You need to start... you need to start City watch-alongs, Big City. Yeah, I'm definitely going to start doing them as we get a little bit further down the line. It's going to be imperative that we do Man City and then Arsenal as well. Clip that blood clot. I'm telling you. 5-0. Smoke. We're battering them tomorrow. The only good thing about Bournemouth is they've got a decent beach. Their football team's going to be in the Championship next season. I'm sorry, they are. I actually like their ground. I like the place. I got a friend who lives there, good friend. It's a nice place, but tomorrow you're getting smashed. You ain't turning up with man like Dominic Solanke and causing us problems. We're in a title race, 5-0. Do Man City hate? Yeah, I see man calling them hate-alongs now when they're doing watch-alongs of rival teams. Definitely, as the season progresses, we'll do all of Man City's games as well, because that's all it's going to be. That's all I'm focusing on. I think it is probably a 2-horse race now, to be honest. Antti said that's true. We can really go to work on that City goal difference tomorrow. I want a double hattie from Saka and Martinelli and a Trossard brace. 8-0 settings. Trossarnelli strikes again. I love that front three. Oh, it's KG doing the hate-alongs, yeah? Yeah, somebody just said there, I don't know if Newcastle... Is Nick Pope able to play for Newcastle now, or is he still suspended? Nick Pope, is he still suspended, people? Or was it 1 game? Or did he get 3? I can't find it. That'll be interesting. If they're turning up with yeah, we're doing United v Liverpool stream, definitely. Opalong, that's a good one. He can, yeah? Okay, that's good. I'm hoping they can get a draw against Man City tomorrow. It was only 1 game. Harsh. 1 match ban. And it was the cup final. So people although some people saying he's back. I thought it was a 1-match ban because it was handball. I thought you only got 3-match bans if it was violent conduct. So I hope he's back anyway. So it's going to be an interesting weekend, that is for sure. People, I'm going to round up. Let me get a few of your comments in, then we'll get out of here. Pat said, good morning, Big C. Just joining. Better late than never. Top of the league. Big up yourself. Pretty sure he can play. Oil alongs, people saying. FPL says Pope plays. It's funny how you see all these City fans now that they're successful. Few years ago, I never saw one. It's true. I didn't know any City fans growing up. But that's happened. Success attracts fans. Curtis Arteta has manipulated the fan base, people praising him for dropping Eddie, whereas he was wrong in the first place for persisting too long. City missed the chance. City missed chances will cost us the title. 6-pointer. Wow. Jazz Meat's not having it, saying Eddie should have been dropped sooner. Maybe we'd have beat City. Can't wait for Jesus to return. He'll be absolute. Newcastle ain't doing nothing tomorrow, says Gully. We got to hope so. We got to hope so. I've never met a City fan to this day. The BBC website says Nick Pope returns from suspension. Anthony Gordon will be included after he was cup-tied. That is great news. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel. Curtis Shaw Clips is pinned in the comments. I will be back tomorrow, 2:15 p.m. Arsenal against Bournemouth watch-along. Keep it locked. On Sunday, we'll be doing Liverpool against Manchester United as well. And it's going to be a big weekend. Hopefully we go 3-point collecting. I'm going for a 5-0 win tomorrow against Bournemouth. Let me know in the comments afterwards what you think the score's going to be. And looking forward to seeing you all tomorrow, people. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. Big game tomorrow. Hopefully Newcastle nick something off City. And then we go and bat up Bournemouth. I'll see you all tomorrow for the watch-along, people. Bless.